because this project was actually brought to me by the two producers. These two ladies here brought the project to me. Yeah, so they are the one that actually came to me and said, they have this project, would I like to direct it? So I think as a director, it's very lucky that I see someone brings a project to you, just put it on a plate. It has only happened to me once, and I don't think it happened again, yeah.
So, any questions from the audience?
The first question is, I don't think that anyone is teaching about the history of Cambodia. I don't think so. Although I'm not from MOE, so I don't think so. Actually, I'm not sure I should get people to watch such a long version of my film. I think it's just a bit far too long, personally. There's a much shorter version, which I like. I think it would be nice. I mean, myself, I'm curious as well. I mean, Cambodia is not that far from us, and with Jetstar or Tiger, it's even easier to go there now. But as a neighbor, I mean, I'm surprised as well. I didn't know much about it. Actually, it's my two producers that really know a lot more about Cambodia. They got me into this project. Yeah, and myself, I'm involved more. Initially, I mean, first of all, I'm not an expert in Cambodia. Normally, people do a documentary about something, not because they're an expert in it, but in the process of making it, you get to know more and more about it. And at least that's the case for me. Yeah. Obviously, I'd like it to share the film. I did have another version, like I said. This version I've never really shared it with anybody because I felt it was too long. So the shorter version, I did traveling around to different festivals. Hopefully more people know more about it, especially when now the trial is ongoing, which is when we shot it was not. I think it might be of some value to people that are interested in Cambodia. I'm quite certain that audience here, many would have visited, quite a few would have visited Cambodia. Maybe which is why it's not the reason, perhaps this is the reason why we're here this evening.
Jason, I noticed, is this film made for TV? Because the presentation style is very TV. Is it made for TV?
Sorry. Before that, character or something, I'll come to that.
Yeah. Actually, it builds on my question. I was wondering, since this film is probably really important to Cambodians, has it been screened in Cambodia either on TV or a short version or DVD?
No, it hasn't been screened in Cambodia. Like I say, it mainly travel festival so far. It looks like TV not because it's in fact, normally when anybody do something, we don't intentionally make it look like TV often. In fact, I think hardly anybody would want to intentionally make it for TV. That's because more my background, nothing to do with the people involved. Certainly not our cameraman or music or producers. I mean, I spent more than 10 years doing TV programs, so in fact, it's quite sad for me to hear that, but that's okay. I take it as a positive comment.
Yeah, it's positive.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
I mean, it's something I'll work on it. Yeah. I didn't intentionally meant for it to look like a TV product, but because that's what I've been doing for 10 years. Although I try to go away from it, it still looks like it. So I'm sorry you listen anyway. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Just wondering, was it easy to get the people in Cambodia to talk about us?
I think it's yes and no. One thing we realized that I think Yao would agree with me. For some of them, they actually like to talk to us. In fact, there's a few which I didn't put in the film because it's already so long. But after they talked to us, it was like such a relief. You know, they started crying, and after that, they suddenly felt all right just by talking to us. And they told us so many things. I think it helps that, again, it helps that Eunice, the producer, and Inging have been there for many times. And they kind of know the ground quite quite well. So it really makes my job a lot easier. And my role was really just to identify a character. In this case, I picked Soy San because I thought, it's just in terms of drama, for me it's interesting at least to have such a conflicted character, whereby this guy killed his father but saved his life. Yeah, I think with some trust, and if you look quite sincere, people might talk to you. Yeah.
Yes.
Not for me, because even though I did not invest so much of so-called, how should I put it? Even making this is quite tough for me, and even after making it for at least perhaps a week or more, you feel a bit sad, and it's not easy to watch over and over again, because when it's edited such a film, you kind of watch it hundreds of times. I don't think I'll do the same topic again, but when I show it when I bring the film to different festivals, some of them, they watch it and they got quite interested, and some fellow filmmakers actually told me that they intend to do something about it. I think that's wonderful, And personally, I don't really like the idea of an outsider going to Cambodia to tell so much story of them, which is essentially what I'm doing. I think sometimes it's okay, but I don't like to do it too many times.
Any questions? So, Jason, you mentioned that Soy San was one of the characters that you picked to be the main narrative thread. So there were other characters that you were looking at. Maybe you'd like to talk a bit about that. Were all the characters included in the film?
No, I think we left out maybe some, not full characters. But anyway, just to go back, Karen, you're saying that what we showed in Cambodia, I think Eunice is really planning to we hope to be able to show it in Cambodia. But right now we don't have a Cambodian version. Obviously now this is meant for a very so-called English-speaking audience. But until we have a Cambodian version, technically we quite meaningless to show this. And there'll be even more bought than you are now. Lost in translation. Yeah. But yes, the intention is to show it there. Hopefully we can realize that.
Yeah, I don't think the audiences were bored. I find it pretty powerful, especially Soy San's story and the concept of karma, that actually ran throughout the whole film. Maybe you want to talk about that as you start interviewing the people. This topic of religion and karma is one of the tools that they use to actually accept what has happened. So, yeah.
Eunice, can I arrow you to talk about karma theme in our film? Please.
I think when we first started making this documentary, we were focusing on Anucha, brother number 2, who is now currently on trial. And that was mainly because we were fascinated by how this person can actually justify killing so many people in the name of revolution. And Eng and I have come from a background of journalism. We are journalists, so events of such political and social nature fascinate us. But when doing my coverage of Cambodia, I didn't feel that the people actually found peace through looking for justice and all this talk about tribunal and stuff like that made them happy. There was more unhappiness actually about how the money was being used, and the fact that it was limited to only a few people who could actually testify, like the leaders of Khmer Rouge. For people like Soy San, he wants to bring people like Chen and Ip Doi to court to account for who killed his father, because these are the people who actually did matter to him. So we try to explore it through another way in which they sort of move on as a society, and also to find closure and to make sense of their suffering. And we realized that a lot of them go to the temple every year during their ancestor days, and they take it really seriously, more than we do with our Qingming. And that was because it's the way in which they could deal with their past and their suffering to make sense of it. And that's why I was very keen to explore that, a way for them to move on as a society through their religion, as most of them, more than 95% of Cambodians are